Welcome to Downtown Sports. My name is Downtown Stephen Brown, and in today's video, we're going to get into a couple of forward names that you guys have suggested for me to check out in the comment section, and then I'm going to get into one of my more crazier ideas of what the Maple Leafs could do this offseason, and it would make them big time spenders. But first off, before we get into them, let's just take a look at this armchair GM that I whipped up for us before the video with some contract projections in there for guys like Ilya Mikheyev and for Travis Dermott. Mikheyev on a 1-year deal, Travis Dermott on a 2-year deal. And I've said it before, Barabanov is a nice little player in his own right, but the fact that him and Mikheyev share an agent, Kyle Dubas already has a pre-existing relationship with him, and he's already got another one of his guys to come over from Russia to North America, guaranteeing him some NHL games and whatnot. So maybe it's a situation of you scratch my back with one of my clients, and I'll scratch your back with another one of mine that you already have on your team, and I'll get you a little bit of a deal there. Now, besides Pierre Engvall here, there's another guy that I'm not 100% sold on that he's on the team next year to at least start the season. With Engvall, it's only going to cost you $175K to bury him there, and he still is a valuable asset if there are injuries or if he starts to play better again. But the other guy that I'm talking about here is Alexander Kerfoot, and I am going to be answering the question today, should the Maple Leafs trade him or not? Now, if we're taking a look at this team here, the reason why I have them on LTIR is just to subtract their cap hit here. These are players that we could use in trades moving forward and whatnot, but I don't think the solution to the forward group is just as simple as calling up Pierre Engvall and having him as the third-line center there. I would like some more depth. And also, we need to upgrade this defense. So let's explore some forward options and stuff like that, and some guys that you've suggested in the comment section who could help us out here. And a name that a couple of you in the comment section have been suggesting is Josh Anderson. Now, I don't really think it makes much sense here because he doesn't play center and we don't necessarily need another winger, although it would be nice to add a guy who's 6'3" and 222 pounds or so on the team. He is coming off of a really serious injury. I believe it's a shoulder problem, or else he probably would have been traded at this year's trade deadline and not still with the Columbus Blue Jackets. But also, I just initially said no right off the bat because he's a Darren Ferris client, and I have no patience for that. And Evolving Wild or Evolving Hockey has him projected to sign at about $2.7 million a season for 2 years. Not the most expensive thing, but when you consider that him and Kerfoot are only $800,000 apart, and the assets that you'd have to give up to acquire a Josh Anderson, and the fact that he doesn't even play center, I don't really think he's a fit for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, this is an interesting one. About a week or so ago, it was rumored that the Blackhawks would be interested in trading Dylan Strome. So to trade for Dylan Strome and then to re-sign him at about the same amount of money that what Kerfoot's already making right now, I don't really think makes a whole ton of sense. The acquisition cost to acquire Dylan Strome would be astronomical, and then at that point, it's not really checking off a whole lot of boxes for us here. It's not really going to help us upgrade the defense. In fact, it would hurt our quest to upgrade the defense because then we wouldn't have the assets that we would need to maybe go out there and acquire a defenseman in a trade or so, and acquiring Dylan Strome doesn't make the Maple Leafs better defensively. In fact, it probably makes them even worse defensively because Alexander Kerfoot is not the worst defensive player on the Leafs right now. He's probably one of the better ones. Now, another guy that a couple of people have talked about in the comment section here is Sam Bennett. Now, Sam Bennett's making $2.5 million for next season, so he would be a little bit cheaper than Alexander Kerfoot here, but when we take a look at his numbers here, I mean, I don't really know where this player would slot in on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Is he a third-line center? Is he just a really good fourth-line center? Is he kind of something in between that? I don't know. His 2019-2020 season is the most impressive here. I don't even know what the Maple Leafs would give up to acquire a guy like Sam Bennett. And I mean, look, I'm a huge fan of the handlebar mustache and whatnot that he rocked in the playoffs a couple of years ago and whatnot, but I don't really think that this player is a solution for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think that this is more of a Band-Aid type player, and it's definitely not an upgrade, and we need to be a little bit more creative. I think that Sam Bennett's an okay player to plug into the lineup, but I don't really know what the acquisition cost would be, and I think that we could do better than him. And I do have Kyle Clifford on this roster right now at $1.125 million because the most that you could bury in the minors next season is $1.075 million. And I think that a veteran like Kyle Clifford does deserve some sort of security and whatnot in knowing that he's not just going to be sent down to the minors if he's underperforming. So if you guys have any other suggestions of players who could replace Alexander Kerfoot, players that you want me to maybe take a look at, give my input on, just leave them down in the comment section below, and I will get to them eventually in a follow-up video. I'm not against trading Alexander Kerfoot, but I'm definitely not rushing to do so, but there maybe is a creative move out there that would allow the Maple Leafs to get a similar player to him, maybe one that's not quite as good in there, and save a little bit of money as well. And I mean, for a guy who had 12 power play points in each of the 2 seasons before he arrived to Toronto, then just dropping to 2 this year, primarily playing on that second power play unit, and then getting absolutely crunched by Jeff Carter and like breaking his jaw, I think, or so. He had to wear like the dome or the fish thing for a while, and he couldn't really eat properly. I mean, he was on pace for his usual about 42, 43 points or so before that, and then he didn't really seem like the same player afterwards. So I mean, the Maple Leaf season was kind of all over the place, and I'm not really ready to write this player off. I do think that he's a valuable asset and whatnot, and the Maple Leafs could probably get something decent for him back in a trade, so I'm not rushing him out the door. I'm willing to give him the opportunity of next season here, but if there is a move that makes sense, I'm fully supportive of it. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Make sure to leave me... Oh, what do you mean I didn't get to my crazy idea? I think that it would be irresponsible of me to include an idea so juicy, so absolutely enormous at the end of this video or even the middle of it and just make a really long video and stuff like that. I think that this idea deserves its own video because it's pretty big. It involves the Toronto Maple Leafs being absolutely huge spenders this offseason. It involves them screwing over a divisional rival. It involves them just being an absolute powerhouse and an evil empire. And it involves Kyle Dubas walking up to Brendan Shanahan and the other executives and being like Tom Cruise from Jerry Maguire. And he's going to have to be like, show me the money in order to do this move. But trust me, it's a pretty damn good one. So if you want me to drop that video tomorrow by noon, you guys got to do your part here. I want to see at least 30 likes on this video. If not, it's probably going to be uploaded. What's today? Today is Wednesday. Probably not till Friday night or Saturday because I want a lot of people to see this because it's probably one of my crazier and better ideas. Because I think that this idea that I have would send a message to the rest of the NHL while they're over there crying off in the corner like, oh, we don't have enough money to pay the arena staff because there's no games and we need all the escrow money back from the players. No, the Toronto Maple Leafs are not going to be worrying about any of that stuff. None of that stuff will stop them. Not the salary cap not increasing. Not them paying almost $40 million to 4 forwards. That's not going to stop them either. They're going to be financial giants and they're going to rise from the ashes. Make sure to leave me a like on this video if you did like it and subscribe for more because more is always on the way. And guys, hopefully quarantine is treating you like it's treating me. I think I'm doing kind of good with this. I've been going for a lot of longer kind of like isolated walks and whatnot, just kind of enjoying my day, right? Spacing things out, keeping up with the jersey hobby and the jersey collection and whatnot, making videos and talking to you guys as well. Let me know down in the comment section as well what you guys are doing to keep busy during this quarantine time, because I think people were okay with it for like the first week or two, but as this is dragging on, I can see how it's going to be affecting different people and whatnot, especially if some people that maybe don't have a lot of family and whatnot or kind of feel lonely. They don't really have a lot of friends and whatnot. So if you guys just want to say hello down in the comment section or have a casual conversation or whatever, my Twitter will be in the description box down below. Feel free to hit me up whenever and stuff like that if you have a question or you want me to cover a video idea or whatever. It's always down there. So take care, guys, and I will see you in the next one.